get money. It still says offline, but
Alright, I see it. I see it. Do 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 do
obviously intro
do
music.
do 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 do. Ba-da-dum, 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 ba-da-dum. You've got Eli seeing you into the podcast because it won't load, and it's loading. Do-do-do. All right. Hello, guys, and welcome to the newest episode of the Just Another Castle podcast, my Nintendo podcast. This is episode number 3. Flea, for some reason, for the first time ever, did not show up, which kind of blows all of our minds. But we do have Matt,
Yep.
and we also have Mike.
What is up?
That was a little bit delayed. It took you a little second to say to do your.
I had to breathe it in, man. I was getting those high notes, you know.
Of course, of course. So why don't we begin, as we always do, with what we've been playing now. I, once again, have not been playing very much. I've been super busy, but I did play through most of Teslagrad, which is an indie game on the Wii U. I got it on sale for, like, I think it was $6 or something when it was on sale, and it's a really fun puzzle platforming game. I think it takes place in, like, Russia, just because of the grad ending of the title. It doesn't really seem too much like Russia, but whatever. But it's pretty much, it uses this like magnet mechanic where the player, where, you know, there's red and blue, and then the colors attract, and then if you've got two reds together, then they repel. It's kind of hard to explain, but pretty much it uses this puzzle mechanic to play with this magnetism stuff, and you also have different magnetized weapons and lasers, and it's a really fun game. My only complaint is that the bosses are kind of and they're not necessarily just difficult, but they're kind of no checkpoints. So it reminds me a little bit of Donkey Kong in the fact that there are multiple phases, and then if you die when you're almost done, you have to start from the very beginning again, which kind of sucks. But that's pretty much all I have to say about Teslagrad. Slowly making my way through Final Fantasy X still. I think I'm like 20 or probably around 20 hours in. And that's about it. I also played about 5 minutes of Dragon Age Inquisition, but then I fell asleep, so don't really have anything to say about that. What about you, Matt?
I haven't been playing a whole lot, but I played a bit of Smash against Uno Clay, and I got my butt handed to me because I haven't played Smash in like a month and a half. And I'm pretty sure playing Bayonetta screwed me up, just because the way you play that game is totally different. And then when I got back to Smash, it's like, how do I do things again? Forget. But I also played Paper Mario Sticker Star, and it sucks. Big surprise.
So just as everyone said, it actually is kind of bad.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. So, funny thing, when Super Paper Mario came out, I was pissed of the changes and how it wasn't like the other two. But after like a couple of years, I played it, treated it as its own thing, and it was actually pretty cool, like on its own. So I took that approach again for Sticker Star, even though I heard so many horrible things about it. And I gave it a fair chance, but it's just awful. To cut it down quickly, there's a bunch of problems, but the main problem is battles are pretty much useless and boring. So because you don't have any actual like RPG stats, and you don't get any experience from battles, the only thing you get are coins, which you use to buy stickers, which are placed around everywhere and also respawn if you go back into the level.
Sounds like we're
So you
talking
don't
about
need to
shitty Paper Mario 4. Sorry. How are you liking it? I really want to know. You don't have to explain this shitty 3-year-old game.
No, I know.
I really want to know how you were liking it. You played all the other Paper Marios, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Quickly, random question. Which one was your favorite? Like before you played this one?
Ooh, I don't. I always go back and forth between 64 and Thousand Year Door. I can't make up my mind.
Yeah,
which I like better.
for me, it went 1, 2, 3. But I hear you on that. But now, okay, since you love the two best ones, obviously, and they try to went back to an RPG element in this, how do you feel about this dumbed down kind of pointless battle system? No EXP, no story or anything kind of like game. Like, how do you feel about that?
So it's weird because they're like, let's try to return to form, but the way they did it makes it pointless that they did it at all. So, as far as story goes, like the story cutscene is like 30 seconds long or something short. It pretty much points out that its story is stupid and useless. I mean, stories weren't always grand, but there were some interesting elements. But this one, they're like, there's a sticker comet. Go stop it because.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty
you know
much
the
how
thing
it goes.
like even the shiny stickers always reappear, and they're not even them. Like
Yeah.
you think they're rare in the beginning, but they just respawn in the same spot. It's not special. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
So the problem is stickers are both useful or too powerful and also extremely useless. Um, I'm forgetting the useless part, but so they're really overpowered. You can only use one at a time, which I thought would be a pretty big hindrance, but it's not because the enemies are so low level and easy. Basically, battles. Think of beating the end of a game and going back to the first level and how you kill them all extremely easy. That's how every battle is, because you can finish a battle of like one or two enemies or sometimes three in like one or two turns.
but
Like
there's no
it's
point of
that.
even fighting. There's no EXP. There's no
Yeah.
reward really for fighting at all.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. And
And
it's
it's
like
not.
what bothered me is I read some that Miyamoto. Did you ever see the beta? I'm gonna send you a link for the beta. Of Paper
Yeah, I
Mario
remember
when
when
it
it.
released. Oh, when
Yeah, I
you had
saw.
Shane Chomp as a partner and there's actually exploring and the battles actually were still on stage like the original 64 and Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, and
Um,
there was like a magical card, like a magician kind of level with cards in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm just gonna just put the link here anyway because I thought that was the game I
sure.
was excited for. Like, dude, I was so
Yeah,
hyped even to have a Chain Chomp as a partner. But like playing through this game, I had to drag myself through it because I was all like, okay, I'm okay. Here's this story, and that's it. That was it. The intro is the story. Like, legitimately, you don't get another cutscene that's important until I think Bowser, which is the end of the game, and you drag your way through this. And it's not you don't play through levels, even though it's set out in like a Mario kind of level area thing. It's more of like, okay, there's one town in this entire game. No real side quests, no nothing. Like it's an empty game. Like it's a shell of what Paper Mario is. And I
yeah,
read Miyamoto said he wanted to get rid of story, and he felt like he said nobody liked that, and he said nobody liked the RPG style. And I'm like, dude, the story was amazing in Super Paper Mario. Like people didn't like it because it wasn't Paper Mario. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't the same as Thousand Year Door. It's not that
yeah,
people didn't enjoy it. It was still a good game, but this is just like, hey, dude, everything you know about Paper Mario, we're gonna leave it, but it has like, it's no meaning at all. It's like if you're just gonna play to play. That's it.
yeah. And it's unfortunate because the one thing that's great about Paper Mario, other than the story and the characters, and how they put spins
And how
on
funny it
classic
is.
enemies, yeah, are the battles, and that's honestly the most boring part because there's no experience, there's no point in battling because you get coins to spend on stickers, but stickers are everywhere, so you don't even need to spend coins. So you can just honestly, one of the levels I just walked by all the enemies and I got the stupid like comet thing or whatever. It's that easy. Like as long as there isn't a situation where you have to battle an enemy, you can just walk by everything. And it was funny because there was a Bowser Jr. is the mini boss. He's like, ah ha ha, I'm gonna kill your whatever crap. And usually that would take, maybe 5 to 10 minutes to beat on like a regular Paper Mario game. But I killed him in like 2 or 3 turns or something dumb, like a minute and a half or something. I'm like, wow, that
Yeah,
was so
for the end,
hard. It was so
the only
boring.
stickers that are rare were like the super ultra like shinies. The ones like I had three of them. They were infinite jump. All I did was I
Yeah.
did that twice on Bowser, and I was like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
legitimately just it's an infinite jump sticker, and I just press an A for the next 4 minutes. And I'm like, okay, I beat Bowser. I don't feel accomplished. All right.
Well, I thought
Yeah,
it was
all of them just spend. They're just way too powerful, and then once you get to the shiny ones, it's ridiculous. It's like one attack is 13 damage, and then you also get like bonus damage for hitting it like 6 times in a row. It's like what the crap? It's pointless.
Well, I thought it was funny at first when you started discussing this, and Mike starts asking all these questions that don't seem biased at all. He's like, "So, do you think this is the worst one? Hey, do you think this mechanic sucked like I did, and all these things?" But I guess those questions are the right ones to ask because you agree, Matt. Did you?
Yeah, well, the game is really bad, dude. Like, especially like me and Matt are big Paper Mario guys. Like, we're that's like that was like our first connection. All right, like Paper Mario 64 was like the connection. It was like to have everything from that like taken away. It was like Paper Mario was like it was so different. It was like funny. It was like a whole new world. It had all these unique characters, and then it was just like, yo, let's everything you like, dude. I'm just gonna throw that in the garbage. All right.
So Matt, how far did you get into the game?
I am. I beat the first world. I think I'm near the end of the second one. I have
That's
to
the
like
best.
I have to collect like two random pieces of paper like spread out throughout the levels or some crap because
The puzzles are difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are tough. They're like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Like, oh my god, like this is taking me
Yeah.
forever. You're
it's
gonna
like
feel
to
like
progress. To progress, it's just like we're gonna make you look for a specific object, and you can't go until you get this, and it's hidden randomly in like one of the 6 levels, and it's probably behind something else. Like what I was supposed to go through like an empty hole in the wall, and there's a pillar in front of it, so I didn't see it. So I looked up a wiki or a guide or whatever, and then I found out it's behind. I'm like, wow, I couldn't see it because they're just like padding out the game with annoying elements.
yeah, it wasn't like it was clever. Like some of it was really annoying. Like legit, like when I said I put it down, like I put it down for like a week and had to come back kind of thing. Like and then I was like, oh, look, that bush is clearly not completely, paper or some bullshit like that. But
Yeah.
like the second boss is probably the best boss. So you're getting into the best part of the game, unfortunately.
Well, are you going to continue playing? I heard that you pretty much, as Mike said, the puzzles are hard. A lot of people said that they need a guide in order to get through. Are you going to continue playing, Matt?
Yeah, because I don't really have much else on my 3DS, and I need something to do on my commute.
What about Majora's
I mean,
Mask 3D?
oh gosh, no. I mean, I have Smash Bros on my 3DS, and technically I could go get all the legendaries and Pokemon, but I don't care enough about the legendaries. So I figured I got it for free. I might as well finish the darn thing, even though it sucks.
Are I oh my god, I had another question, but I completely forgot. Oh, you didn't buy a new 3DS, did you, Matt?
No.
All right, but Mike, did you?
Hell no.
Okay, so Mr. owns a new 3DS. Great job, Nintendo podcast.
Why am I gonna buy some new 3DS when there's like no exclusives and no special ass editions that are worth it? All right, like f that noise. I'll wait till November when something sexy comes out, like something with Mario's mustache. All right.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I was thinking maybe I'll wait until Xenoblade Chronicles X or Xenoblade Chronicles 3D comes out, and maybe they'll have some sort of like bundle deal or something like that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too, but I don't think it's gonna happen, dude. I mean, they already have the release date for the game. Like, Why would they like hold back announcing a 3DS for it? You know?
Yeah, it's around Majora's Mask release, isn't it? Or
What?
is it March?
It's April 20th. April 20th, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's further away.
And now you're thinking Project Steam is like coming up real soon.
Oh yeah, Project Stream is the 13th. Yeah, I think I'll pick up. I might pick up the new 3DS either when Xenoblade comes out, or I might pick it up for Project Steam if people say that it loads a lot quicker on the new 3DS, because I heard there's a possibility the new 3DS might load quicker since the processor is better, and I heard that.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've actually, I played around with it, and then I also I played with it twice already. It's pretty nice, and everything did feel smoother. So I mean, it's not like it's bullshit. Like legitimately, like everything felt like just like quicker, faster, and better. You know. And even though they said the XL is like the same size, it felt bigger to me. It wasn't just they made the screen like 0.1 millimeter bigger.
No.
I don't know. I played the whatchamacallit, coding Steam demo on like my 3DS XL, the normal one, and it ran fine. So even if you just play it on your regular one, it's not like it's chugging or anything.
That sounds good. All right, yeah, because I heard it sometimes takes a little while for your computer opponent to make a move, but
Oh, yeah, I could see that getting annoying.
all right, but what else have you been playing, Mike?
Well, you didn't ask me before, so I don't know what else I was playing.
What
asking me now, man?
Apparently, we're both the same, Mike. So.
Oh yeah, we're
because we both start with M's. So I mean, it's really confusing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I know, right? Matt and Mike. Like, damn, we even have vowels.
New York might as well be Toronto. I mean, I don't even see a difference in where you live. Like, I don't. I don't know.
All right. Well, I've been playing that Major A's Mask game, right? That's how the kids say it these
You
days. I don't
mean
know.
you mean major ass?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I've been playing Legend of Zelda. Yes. And here's the shocking part of the podcast. Yo, the remake is better than the original. Like I'm enjoying it like 5% more than I did originally. So it's
oh,
like 5%. So
Hey, that's an improvement, especially for Mike.
5%.
so it's not gonna get a 0.1. It's on point right now for like a 5 out of 10. No, but seriously, like, um, yeah. So I got Majora's Mask, obviously. I've been playing through it. Yeah, like it's using the same engine as Ocarina of Time. We all know that garbage. Like, it just feels like you feel a little slower in the game, but the game like it just runs a little smoother than it did on the N64. Like they got rid of some of the really annoying tidbits, like constantly rewatching some of the same scenes or it's or always getting the bomber's notebook. Like, dude, I don't want to like catch the same kids every 50,000 times, like just so I could write down an event. Like they gave you like the notebook now from the entire game, so you don't lose it every time you go back in the past. So like they got rid of like that annoying shit that made the game unbearable.
Yeah, they streamlined it.
Like, which is a lot better. Like, I mean, it's like I understand. Like, they also changed some like bullshit. Like, oh, we made the bosses easier, which I think that's ass. Like, I hate when game like companies do that shit. Like, dude, like if they suck at the game, they should continue to suck later on. But like those annoying like things where it's like, oh man, we loaded like it loaded too fast, or like if you did this, something bad would happen. Like, okay, they got rid of that, and it's like now the game's enjoyable actually, rather than just constantly dragging to do the same damn
Whoa.
thing all the time.
Did you
All
just
right.
use the word enjoyable and Majora's Mask in the same sentence?
Hey man, you don't understand. If you play the original and you constantly have to do the same thing, like I'm doing the same task before I even leave town to get to the next temple. All right, I'm like, okay, now I have everything I just had. Okay, so it's like, oh, song of time. All right, cool. Okay, let me go redeposit my rupees. Okay, I got that back. All right, I'm gonna do this again. Do this again. I'm gonna say hi to the same lady at 12 o'clock again because it's the only way I can do this side quest. All right. But it was like now it's like okay cool you did that in day one. Now it's like you could always come back, like do this, or here's all this other crap, and we wrote it down in your journal, which you didn't need again, which honestly, dude, it helps out so much. But I mean, other than that, like I've been playing that a lot. Like I'm like in the second temple. I think I put out a few guide videos for IGN already. And what else have I? Oh yeah, I've been playing that Smash. I did shitty at a tournament, so I lost the Sonic Amiibo. I only got like second place for like 5250.
Wait, did you like bet a Sonic Amiibo or something?
No, no, the guy at the store was giving that away for the winner. The winner won like 87, and I freaking blew it in game 5. But who cares about that? There's another tournament Saturday, so obviously more Smash. And I'm at the end of Birth by Sleep. I should once I finish Aqua's story, I should be doing the secret bosses, which I'll probably put up some guide videos also for IGN on it, and then yeah, I'll get that plat so I can start KH2 Final Mix.
So, Mike, with Majora's Mask, I heard they added more save points. Do you feel that kind of ruins it?
It's annoying. Like I literally was like, yo, what the hell is this? Like I didn't know what it was for a good 5 minutes. It was like it wasn't the Kapoor Gabora statue. It was just like this thing with a pen, and I was like, what? Like, what do I do? And like, I hit it. And it was like, you want to save? I was like, nah, man. Like, that's lame. I ain't gonna save at this bullshit, not real save point, because I'm a man. All right, and I'm gonna throw my ass to one of the 8 statues in the game. Okay. And why would you need more save points? The 3DS, you could just close it and it's in sleep mode, Like, that would make more sense on the N64 because you can't, oh, I'm just going to come back,
You're
It
right.
was like,
Nintendo should have released a remake for the N64
thank you.
for save
Now
points.
you're using your brain, all right? Like I don't need 50,000 save stations. What am I, a bitch? All right? Like, damn it, Nintendo.
Have you looked at the demographics for Nintendo's 3DS? Like, not everyone is a 20-plus-year-old gamer on there.
I
No,
thought you were going to
what's
mention the demographics and how many people are a bitch.
Yeah, like they remake Donkey Kong Country Returns, and that's legit the hardest Donkey Kong Country of all of them, and it's my second favorite behind DKC 2. And doing that shit on the 3DS, I was like, yo, like I don't understand. Then they remake it. They're like, yo, we need easy mode for these bitches. It's like, nah, bro. All right, in Donkey Kong Country, easy mode ain't even gonna help these bitches. So why are you gonna do it? You know, you use your super guide.
Well,
Yeah, 8-year-olds getting 3DSs. That's bullshit right there.
all right. Well, next time Nintendo will also release a special mic edition of the game, which will have 50% less save points. Because
Yeah, until you meet the original. All right.
All right. Let's move on to some news. Since there was a lot of news, I guess, in Amiibo land, and pretty much this just broke about an hour ago, is that the Golden Mario Amiibo is going to be an exclusive to Walmart, which is terrible because when the first set of retailer exclusive Amiibo are coming through, everyone was saying, well, at least it's not Walmart. At least there's not a Walmart one. Oh, it could be worse. And now Nintendo has made it worse because Walmart is literally the worst video game retailer in existence. They don't know
Wait, so
anything about
why
anything.
do people hate Walmart? Like, I don't understand why specifically
Yeah, but I
Walmart.
know Walmart in the South is like mad good. So, and the
Here's
one we have here is mad dirty and shitty.
Yeah,
So,
well, here's the problem with Walmart. I call Walmart and I say, hey, do you have any, I don't know, Golden Mario amiibo in stock? Oh, wait, well, I don't know what that is. Well, it's this the toy works with a. Let me transfer you to electronics. All right, thank you. Transfer me to electronics. Hello? Hi, do you have any Golden Mario amiibo? Oh, I don't know what the amiibo are. Oh, shit. I don't. He doesn't speak English, which is, I don't have anything against that because, I speak Russian. I get it. Sometimes people have difficulty with the English language, but then they start saying stuff like, I don't know, we don't sell Ebola here. Or, you
damn it, can't buy Ebola from Walmart. What kind of world is this?
they don't know. And then you're like, do you have a Golden Mario one? They'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, well, you describe the whole thing. And like, I don't know. We have some Disney Infinity toys. Like, it's the most pain in the butt thing in the world. And then you actually show up to Walmart and you go to the Amiibo section, and all they have is 25 Peach figurines, 25 Kirby's, 25 Links, and that's it. Because I was just there earlier today, and that's what the section looked like. Like, I'm scared to go into a Walmart for Amiibo.
That's why you pre-order.
Well, I don't even know, but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Walmart doesn't do pre-orders for things like other than
Doesn't?
not.
They did for Mario Party 10.
I think they do online, and I think they do for the actual video games themselves. But when it comes to stuff like that, or even video game consoles, like they didn't do pre-orders for the Wii U or anything like that. Like you had to show up the day of.
Okay, so now I can understand why people would hate Walmart.
And there's always going to be that asshole person, such as myself, that is going to come in and grab like 10 of them. And, then Walmart.
Man, what an asshole. I mean, I'll keep going, Eli.
Walmart, like Best Buy and Target have limits on their stuff. Like you couldn't walk into Target and buy who knows how many Rosalinas because they had limits.
Sure.
The only reason I got as many as I got is because I visited like 10 different Targets. Like they had limits. They didn't let people buy a ton of them. Walmart isn't gonna care. So
How long did you drive to reach 10 different Targets?
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I have like 10.
I can't even find 2 of the same store in my own town, let alone 10.
I have to drive mad. No, wait, no. Now there's 2 targets that are near each other.
I got a bunch
near me, but
I was exaggerating, not 10. I drove to 5 of them, and they're all
That's
within,
still a lot.
they're all within like a 20 or 30 minute radius.
they're all neighbors. Like all 5 targets are 1 block. It's like, hey, dude, what's up?
It's like Starbucks.
They just transfer employees when they feel like it.
Yeah, well, so that's my little rage thing about there being. I don't even know if I can sit, like I'm the one that's usually on top of this Amiibo stuff and pre-ordering stuff and even trying to get stuff for cheap. I got a $55 Wii Fit Trainer, which seems expensive, but that's actually a lot cheaper than what other people paid for. And so I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to get one of these Gold Mario Amiibo, even though I'm a freaking addict. So I'll probably be paying some stupid scalper on eBay. doesn't care at all about people like me who are just in it for the collecting. I'm obviously being a little satirical and ironic there. So I think that we can move on to another piece of news, and it's about the new 3DS not being in the U.S. And this
Wait,
is
what the new 3DS is? I don't get it. I just bought a new 3DS. No, I'm playing.
no, Mike. What you just bought, which you didn't buy because you didn't buy one, is a new 3DS XL, which is
No, I bought 3DS and it was new, bro. So it's a new 3DS. So there you go.
it was in the
There you go.
plastic wrapping. It was
Yeah, it's in the plastic. It's new. I don't understand what the hell you're talking about.
So pretty much the was Damon Baker, who's the senior manager in marketing and licensing at Nintendo, said that pretty much the reason that the new 3DS did not come to the States is because it would be too confusing for consumers. Now, the way that we here at the Just Another Castle podcast took this is that Americans and Canadians and Mexicans are just simply too stupid to interpret.
Hey, North America. Hey, you guys are dumb.
Yeah, I mean, the Europeans obviously have some really good, smart people, I don't know, curing cancer and stuff, so they can tell the difference between the new and the old 3DS. And
Dude,
the XL one.
curing cancer's got nothing on the new 3DS versus new 3DS XL. Okay, like legitimately, I had to hire like 5 lawyers, and we finally figured it out today. And I was like, oh my god, I got duped.
Well,
Okay.
the Japanese, in fact, are in school like 12 hours a day, so they're smart enough. Like, that's all they teach them in school is how to tell the difference between the new and the old 3DS. But we don't have courses like that here in the U.S., so
Damn.
pretty much we don't get the product because we're all too stupid to tell the difference. Good job, Nintendo. Good job. Now, that was not the only BS excuse that we heard within the last week from a large company because Capcom.
Oh, I was just gonna add to the 3DS thing.
Go ahead.
Speaking seriously, they probably didn't bother because heard a report somewhere that the XL sells like 2 to 1 to the regular size, and they probably figured they could get away selling the smaller one in smaller countries, or at least comparatively to North America.
That.
So.
Yeah, but
I
like, if
think
you
that's
counter
why
that,
they probably we don't want to make a ton of these small ones, and everyone's just going to buy the XL anyway. So let's just hold off for a bit while people pick these up, and then maybe offer it down the line as, hey, you like that new 3DS? Well, here's a smaller, cheaper version if you want one. Kind of like the 2DS situation.
Well, no, but the new 3DS you could change besides the fact it's a little bit bigger, you could change the faceplates. That like the regular small 3DS is like a piece of crap. It's like the size of my thumb. Like nobody wants that shit. But now the new one is slightly bigger and has this advantage of changing awesome faceplates. Like people would buy that shit. Like the other one had no advantage at all besides having a stupid stylus that was small and metal and you could elongate. That's about it.
Do you know how much those rare faceplates would go for on sites such as eBay? I mean, I'm not talking about that, but no. But honestly speaking, I think it's a little ridiculous. But Matt, you talked about how the 3DS XL outsells the regular 3DS, but I think there's a reason for that. The regular 3DS has pretty much been discontinued in the U.S. Like, you cannot find it in stores. They don't sell it in stores. You can go online. They're all sold out off BestBuy.com, GameStop.com, Walmart.com. None of them have regular 3DSs. Like, Nintendo pretty much just disowned them. They're now all XLs. So I think that's kind of the reason why the XLs have been outselling the regular model, because you just can't find the regular model anywhere. Kind of sucks. But
maybe they saw it petering out and they're like, well, it's not worth making more of them. But then they still have the 2DS, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't selling that well because they didn't release concrete numbers for it.
Yeah.
So that's even more confusing.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
Nintendo's a weirdo company. But, they're not the only ones making up stupid excuses. As I was trying to segue through earlier, Capcom has been doing the same thing with Resident Evil Revelations 2. When they were asked why it wasn't on the 3DS or Wii U, they pretty much said that it's for technological reasons and that their engine isn't optimized and stuff for these consoles, and that they intended it for it to be a next-gen and current-gen experience. They said that, quote, they said, quote, it was intended for the next-gen and current-gen experience. What is the Wii U? Is the Wii U not, it's the last gen? It's not even...
It's obviously 30 years old, man.
It's just a retro console.
I don't know why they just weren't serious and just said we want to see the install base grow or some crap like that, because it's at least it would make sense. This doesn't even make sense. They're like, well, we optimized it for this, even though the other one also ran on these systems, so we're just not going to bring it. It's not optimized, man. I mean, it's only running on every other single platform available.
Yeah.
It just can't. The Wii U just can't do it for whatever reason. Come on.
Yeah, it's kind of. I wish they would tell the truth, but
It's funny because when I saw it on Go Nintendo, usually posts will get like 3 to 5 likes or dislikes or whatever. This one was like -14. Just everyone's like, Capcom, what are you doing?
Well, you know who else gets a bunch of minuses? Whenever Michael Pachter says anything on Go Nintendo, it gets like -35 or something because everyone hates Pachter. Poor guy. But I also want to talk about the fact that official 3DS chargers are apparently really hard to find at this point, which Matt pulled up for me. I think it's one of those things, once again, where Nintendo just didn't know how many they would need. Same thing with GameCube adapters. Like, they're making more GameCube adapters, but they didn't know what the demand would be at first. And then there was also news about this Pokmon Tournament stuff, which I'll have Matt explain since he did a little bit of math here.
Sure. So, Pokmon Tournament was announced to come to arcades in Japan this summer, and I remembered Street Fighter 4 came into arcades at one point in Japan. So I figured what the time difference for that was. So I wrote here, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition came out in Japan in arcades in December, and then it released in June the next year. So I don't know, like 5 or 6 months ish. So if Pokmon Tournament is releasing in Japan in the summer in arcades, then we should supposedly get it by the end of the year or early 2016, if you go by that comparison. So we should be getting it by the end of the year or the beginning of next year.
I'm curious as to how deep this game is going to end up being, and whether it's going to be like a full $60 title, or whether there's only going to be whether it's going to be like a smaller amount of fighters, and whether it's going to be like a $20 downloadable title or what.
Eli,
I don't think
you
it'll
sound
be
like someone who
downloadable.
doesn't play a fighting game.
I-
It's going to be a port of the arcade,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a simple fighting game with a very simple roster. And don't forget, it's also kind of a test thing. This isn't like it's Tekken or Street Fighter where it's been around for a while and they can add or take away characters from a roster. It's kind of a project, So it's like this is coming to arcades. Most likely, it's coming to Wii U's in 4 to 6 months. I would say if it's gonna be in that 6 month range, Matt, it would probably be aimed for holidays. And if they're not able to get that, they hold it back for a spring release. So
Yeah.
almost, it's either a 5 month window or a 9 to 12 month window.
Yeah, no.
But it's Matt. I mean, Eli, it's just gonna be something simple. It's gonna be just the game released for $50 to $60, possibly even more. Like if you want to include that wanky controller they're adding, like they might add that as an accessory, and then that's simply it. And Japan will get it first, of course.
Yeah, well, Japan always gets most of this stuff first. But I think, I don't know, it seems like a really strange game, and I don't know if the Pokemon license alone is going to be able to sell it, especially in the States. Obviously, there's a really diehard Nintendo and fighting community in the States, but I don't know if there's just going to be enough substance there to support people like me, for example, who aren't very into fighting games, but I'll pick up Smash because I love Smash. But I can't really get into something like Tekken or Street Fighter or anything like that. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder what
it looks awesome. It looks awesome.
I was just gonna say, I wonder what other modes and things they're gonna get in, because I like playing fighting games sometimes. Mostly it was Marvel versus Capcom 3, but yeah, most fighting games don't have a lot of like single player content or much other than online multiplayer. So if it only has online, then I'm probably gonna wait till it goes down to like $20, because then it's just not enough content for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that we're just gonna have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Now we got some other stuff here. Ubisoft, I don't know whether it was a leak or whether Ubisoft just released this information or whatnot, but they pretty much there was a trailer released for Ubisoft's unannounced party game for the Wii U, which is called Know Your Friends. Um, I don't really know very much about this, and it was kind of hard to tell by the commercial what the game is really about in terms of other than I think it. I don't know, Matt. Did you watch the trailer?
I didn't even know there was a trailer.
Oh yeah, there was a trailer.
Can't even find a link to it.
Yeah, but God, I watched it like a week ago, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But it was pretty much it looked really bad. It looked terrible, and I don't think Ubisoft lost that much money off of creating it. They said they would release it once the install base was larger for the Wii U, but I really don't think it's one of those things where they actually spent quite a few resources on it or anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect much because we were told it was a party game anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Did you guys see this Banjo Kazooie spiritual successor made by I think it's 6X Rare guys?
Oh yeah.
Studio.
Yeah, and the character designer of Donkey Kong and Banjo and stuff.
Yeah, and it looks like it might be coming to the Wii U. Looks pretty cool.
You know what? That reminds me, Matt. What ever happened to that magical hat, time in a hat indie kind of game or whatever?
A hat in time. Yeah, they're still working on it. Apparently, because I just followed their Twitter recently, someone said they were supposed to finish. Some commenter said they were supposed to finish earlier because the Kickstarter said that, but because they reached like all their goals, it's gonna keep going until whenever they finish it.
Yeah,
I don't know if they have an expected date or not.
It looks really interesting, and especially from since we're talking about this spiritual successor to Banjo Kazooie with actual people from it, like it did give me that vibe. And honestly, I mean, imagine we get both around the same time period. That'd be sick.
Well, the funny thing is, there's rumors that Banjo Kazooie will be coming on Xbox One and like showing off at E3. Like one of the music guys who works at Rare or the old Rare or whatever you want to call it, tweeted out like, "Oh, the band is coming back" or something, and he shows like a banjo and plays like a couple of notes from the game and some notes saying like BKE3 2015 and stuff. So we might actually.
Well, they lied to us already with nuts and bolts. I mean, they showed Spiral Mountain in the beginning of that trailer, so you can't really trust them. And besides the fact that Phil Spencer is last wearing a Battletoads t-shirt, not a Banjo Kazooie t-shirt. Yeah,
I know, but there were other. Yeah, no, I thought of that too, but there were some good points for Banjo as well. But we might actually see both.
Can't trust anyway. It's not going to be made by most of the same Rare guys. Like a lot of those guys work for Retro or their own thing. It's like it's just going to be Banjo Kazooie in name. So honestly, I'm just going to take it as not a sequel to Banjo Tooie.
Yeah, I think the creator is still working at Rare. Someone of high note I know is working there. Not a ton, but it'll be interesting because we might actually see Banjo like come back and its spiritual successor in the same year.
I've never actually played a Banjo-Kazooie game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a crime, right?
Just add it to your list with Link to the Past.
Yeah, Link to the Past, Twilight Princess, Majora's Mask.
No, you can skip that one.
What else is on there? Oh, did you see the news? It was a rumor that Twilight Princess would be remade for the new 3DS.
That's dumb. I rather have.
That sounds like someone made that up.
That makes no sense too. Especially how huge Twilight Princess is. There's no way it could.
It was definitely a rumor. I think it was from Zelda Informer or something like that. That website. We didn't even run it on our site because we didn't trust it. But it was just kind of a rumor from a relatively big source.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. Zelda Informer says a lot of things that are really stretching.
Yeah.
They kind of push everything. They're like, "Yo, Zelda this, Zelda that," and I'm like, "All right, man. Like, I understand your hype, but there's no way that's true."
I remember they were talking about like Zelda Wii rumors like before it was even announced, like a year or two after Skyward Sword. It's like, I'm not really gonna trust you have information on a game that's like not even remotely hinted at yet.
Yeah. Oh, I want to run through some statistics regarding Amiibo since Nintendo did release a bunch of information yesterday regarding them. So by the end of last year, so that's in about, 5 weeks in that Amiibo were on the market, they sold 5.7 million units, so more than a million per week, which is really impressive, especially if they ended up keeping that momentum up in this new year. In proportion, the U.S. and Canada accounts for 60%, 63% of all Amiibo shipped, and the rest of the world has 37%. The sellout rate in each of the countries is about 70% in Japan, US, Canada, and Europe, and it's 90% in Australia, so we have trouble finding Amiibo here. In Australia, it's even harder.
Maybe they're just not, they don't have big shipments there in Australia.
Yeah. And then let me run through. So the top 10 Amiibo sold in the US and Canada are number 1, Link, then Mario, Pikachu, Kirby, Samus, Yoshi, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Peach, and Luigi. Those are the top 10. Honestly, I feel like those are only the top 10 because those are the ones you can find in stores if you walk into one. I don't think it's necessarily because everyone likes, Yoshi better.
They're the ones that are mass producing the most, and they were literally the first wave of Amiibos.
Yeah, although apparently people, I guess I shouldn't have brought up Yoshi specifically because they also released a top sell-through rate. So these are pretty much the hardest to find list. And so number 1 is Marth. Number 2 is Villager. Number 3 is Wii Fit Trainer. Number 4 is Pit. Number 5 is Captain Falcon. Number 6 is Link. Number 7 is Fox. Number 8 is Rosalina. Number 9 is Samus. Number 10 is Yoshi. I mean, not necessarily hardest to find, but the ones that have sold the quickest and stuff like that. The one omission is Little Mac. Little Mac is not on this list. So there was a post on the Reddit Amiibo community that someone thinks that either they all burned up in a fire or something, or they're just hidden away in some Walmart in the middle of Oklahoma or something, and there's like 1,000 Little Macs or something, because that's kind of amazing that Little Mac didn't make this top 10 list, because he's supposed to be incredibly hard to find.
It's weird.
Yeah, so pretty much also a card format is confirmed for release by the end of the year. And then we can talk about the fact that they will have sort of demos of NES and SNES games with newer Amiibos, which they haven't confirmed what this would be, but they just kind of announced this. What do you guys think? Do you guys
think of what?
What do you guys think about
this
demo thing? Because Matt or Mike, you did have some ideas on that, right?
Yeah, I know you guys are looking to steal them, but no, what I was going to say was, how about instead of a shitty-ass demo, which is already available in Smash or most titles, all right, why don't you, if you bring this demo, why doesn't the demo packed in the Amiibo also give a discount, or you could buy the game at a discounted price of the, say, demo? So, like, think, I don't know, I bought Link Amiibo, right? And so it has a demo of Legend of Zelda. Now, after I finish playing this demo, well, however long it is, 2 to 5 minutes, at the end it offers me the game for a discounted price rather than the full price on the virtual console. So it's like, hey, I spent $13 on this Amiibo, and just to play a demo is stupid because most demos are free in today's age. So how about you get this game for less than what it should be, since we're buying our product?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, really, because it kind of helps promote the helps promote the actual games themselves too. So kind of you scratch my back, I scratch your back thing. But we did have another member. Look who decided to show up, Mr. Leodolosio.
Hey guys. Now, regarding the topic that you were talking about, I think Iwata said something that in the future Amiibos will be bundled with games, with digital games.
Well, only demos.
I mean, not demos. He said digital games.
Well, wait. Let me pull this up.
I know they said trials at least.
There's scenes. Yeah, no. So. Play famous scenes. Well, what it is that it's going to be like parts. It's not going to be like a full game. It's going to be like parts of a game. Parts of classic NES and SNES games, and they're called scenes, apparently. And so Nintendo did not expect Amiibo to be as popular as they are now, and this is even more surprising. They did not expect people to buy them in bulk and resell them.
Yeah, yeah. In what Iwata said in the last meeting that he had is that almost everything they didn't expect it to be so well. Even Wii U sales in software and hardware, and even 3DS sales in hardware and software.
Yeah, it's yeah. I'm sorry, Flea. Can you repeat that? I completely just blanked.
Yeah, no, that Iwata said that even in the hardware and software sales of both systems, they didn't expect that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
will go. It went even better than what they
Oh
expected in
yeah.
the first place.
We can talk specifically also about the new 3DS, which apparently is selling, I think, 2 times faster than the 3DS XL did. It sold over 375,000 units, I believe the number was, in the West. So in Europe and America combined, it sold more than 375,000 units. Majora's Mask 3D, I think. Majora's Mask 3D, I think, sold around 600,000 units, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't have these numbers right in front of me. But it was pretty much outselling A Link Between Worlds like 3-1 at launch.
Right after class.
What, Mike?
What?
Oh, I thought you said something. Pretty much, Majora's Mask 3D is outselling Link Between Worlds like 3-1 at launch. And Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate sold more than 100,000 units at launch, which is pretty good for that game considering it only sold like 40,000 units last time. So it's doing pretty well. And I think we can move on to some different news and sales. Pretty much everything's doing pretty well. Nintendo secures developer roundtables for E3 2015. I think they once again rented out the Nokia Theater. They have the same 3 booths they had last year. Pretty much the same exact stuff is happening last year. Now the big question is that they rented out the Nokia Theater again. Is this going to be used for another Smash Bros. Competition, or is this going to be used for a press conference?
Wait, my guess, since you just said that, it could be a Splatoon thing too. You didn't think about that, because Splatoon is kind of like a lot of like the Smash community is like excited for Splatoon. I mean, it's a lot of
Really?
casuals as well, like normal people. Like Splatoon is like the new game to look forward to, like multiplayer wise. So maybe they're gonna have like a
The
whole
new Call of Duty.
yeah. So like that maybe they'll have like a whole like 128 people like competition of it with random 4v4 teams, or some like big way. As at Apex they had demos of Splatoon there, so they let people play it ahead of time.
Except Flea, you said it's like Call of Duty, except Call of Duty has voice chat, so
Oh,
shots fired.
Yeah. I forgot that part.
Yeah, but I think Splatoon is really resonating with the Smash community. I talked with Dakota, the Rapture, which Mike knows, and he's really all about Splatoon. Honestly, I don't really know. I'm not going to claim one way or another. I think they might have another tournament again, maybe another Smash one, because it was pretty cool last year. But I really wouldn't be surprised if they decide to have a press conference again. And in fact, I would be super psyched if they decide to have a press conference. I would be pretty happy about that. But because it seems like they have a lot of announcements, a lot of stuff that they're getting ready for this year, and I think that a full presentation in front of an audience for 90 minutes would actually be something that they could make really awesome because they have so much stuff. I don't know. A lot of other people prefer the Nintendo Directs. Yeah. So, do you guys think they're going to do a Treehouse event again this year?
I think that it would be the same of.
Wait, what
Sorry, go.
Oh. Go ahead, Matt or Flea.
I think that it will be the same of last year. I don't think that they will do another press conference. They will not go to that route again, like Sony and Microsoft are doing. And I think that it will be even more focused on the Treehouse live events, because I think that was that when the developers sit and play the games, the upcoming games, and explain everything to the interviewer there and the journalist there, and also the people that were watching live in YouTube. That had a very positive feedback.
What are you gonna say, Matt?
I was just going to say pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I definitely think they'll do that again, because I remember hearing that being like Nintendo getting a lot of good reception about that, and they even had a surprise for each day too. So
yeah,
it's not like it was all repeat stuff. It's like, hey, yeah, sure, we're playing Splatoon like 3 times a day or whatever, but we're also going to show off like this new game and a new surprise and this and that. So there's a lot to look forward to with those.
There was a lot of really good programming. I like the fact that like I came home after the conference or whatever, and I could sit down and watch an hour or two of Nintendo programming and kind of get the scoop because everyone else was getting the scoop during the day, and I was kind of missing out.
Well, it's good too because versus IGN, they get like a 30-minute demo, and that's the only time you see one specific game. But with Nintendo, because it's just focused on them, they can show like the same game a couple of times a day throughout like the several days. So if you miss it once, there's plenty of other chances for you to see it.
Yeah, I think I'm actually really excited for this year. I think Nintendo's going to have an awesome showing at E3. They're going to have Zelda, Star Fox, Xenoblade. Oh my god, it's going to be an amazing show. They're going to have...
Yeah, but Zelda's gonna suck, so what does it matter?
Oh, Mike.
Nope.
Mike, you're
Yeah?
quiet anyway. So,
Nope.
Alright, you guys gonna get all excited. It's gonna be like, whoa, it's the same bull crap. And
Yeah.
it's gonna
Also,
be like,
I know there is a small rumor now surrounding in the forums and people that are fan of Nintendo. I don't know if it's true or not, but most of the people are theorizing that Nintendo will show in the E3 a almost complete version of a Metroid game for the Wii U, and that game is the game that was and is still developed in Retro Studio after they finished Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii, and then they separate the Retro in two groups.
yeah, I think that's really reasonable, especially since there's a rumor that there was a 3DS Metroid game in the works that was
Yeah, but that game was
I'll tell you
canned.
one thing.
Yeah,
That game
made
was
fun-
canned.
yeah,
met
it was
him.
canceled. But I don't think I can't imagine they cancel something like that. I think that there is a 3DS Metroid game in the works, but I don't think it's canceled. I think we're gonna see it because 3DS Metroid.
Next Level was
Uh,
developing the game. And
I don't
then
know
they-
because if they were planning on going with another like a continuing with a Metroid on 3DS, I don't think they would leak or show off, hey, look, we were working on this at some point. Oh, wait, no, we're still working on it.
No, yeah, that's true. However, if I think that it's just one of those things where I don't really envision Metroid on the Wii U when we have Zelda, Star Fox, and Xenoblade and Mario pretty much hitting in such a small span of time, because we already know that there's pretty much another Wii U Mario game in the works. So I think their last big hitter Metroid has got to be a 3DS game. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know because they probably took the framework from Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii, and I don't think it was that much harder to make Tropical Freeze for the Wii U. So I'm sure they would have. I agree with Felia that they probably split up into two teams because I don't think it took the whole studio.
And also
Tropical Freeze.
everything that indicates that is that some Nintendo fans did a history of the Twitter message from people that were hiring from Retro in this couple of years. And most of the people that were hired from Retro that worked previously in other developer company, like for example, this one of the executive producer or director of the Uncharted games that now is working in Retro for almost 2 years now. He said almost of the tweet said that they were working on an awesome new franchise. And there was also another tweet message from another developers that are now working in Retro. And when they talk about the new franchise that were working in Retro, they weren't talking about Donkey Kong because they already were releasing Donkey Kong Country Returns for the Wii. So most people logically think that it's a Metroid game.
Yeah. I think we'll see. I'm still convinced. I think it's a 3DS game made by Retro, not Next Level Games, but still. Flea, are there any questions by any chance?
Yes. One question. 1 second. One question. I was supposed to say.
Flea.
While he's looking for a question, since that Rayman leak was fake, what other DLC characters would you like to see besides Mewtwo?
Banjo Kazooie. Oh,
Realistic
oh,
characters.
I literally, I don't think any character at all. I can't think of one, nor do I really care for one. Like maybe
Yeah,
Dixie Kong. That's
I
about
would.
it.
You
That's
mean
about it.
one
He has a trophy,
one new
so it's
character
like,
rooster in Smash?
Yeah.
I would love to see Cereza. I mean Bayonetta.
Oh,
man, that is terrible. Bayonetta sucks.
yeah, excellent idea. Back up Flea 100%.
No, no.
I'd love to. I know it's premature, but I'd love to see one of the Inklings from Splatoon, because I think they could have a really cool moveset, and I just like the paint theme of it all.
Yeah, you know what? Bomberman should be it. End of story. All right, Super
I don't know.
Bomberman 1
Bomberman
through 4.
is
Awesome. Okay.
Bomberman is kind of eh.
He seems so smashy though.
But-
Like he like works out in that element. I like this Splatoon thing a lot. More
Yeah.
not more than Dixie Kong, but I think that's a really good idea, man.
The only reason I wouldn't care much for Bomberman is the same issue I have with Sonic, where most of his moves are the same thing. Like Bomberman's like, I'm gonna kick a bomb and now I'm gonna throw a bomb. and now I'm
Bomberman
going
also
to,
has
like,
Seeker Bomb, Kick Bomb, Mind Bomb.
I know, but they're
My,
they're all
Here's the
bomb.
question.
anyway. Yeah,
I
go on with
found
it.
it.
all right.
The question is for user RDB9510. Thank you for the question. He said, since Nintendo is embracing DLC in all of their popular games, do you think that post Zelda release they will also do this type of things in a Zelda game that was never done before? It's an excellent question.
Gosh, I hope not. I think obviously Nintendo is going into new DLC and microtransactions and free to play games and this whole new digital market that they're chasing. And I agree with them. I'm like, they should absolutely go after it. They should absolutely do this sort of things. However, if they release Zelda and it's a 40-hour game or whatever, and then they just release a DLC, I'm not going to be like, that's not going to jive too well with me. I feel like
I know.
it's part of the main game.
And also, I think the Zelda franchise almost, I think all games are bundled with everything from the get-go. So the developers never leave something out of the question because they didn't have time. Because if there is a game inside Nintendo that always Nintendo puts more time and effort to make it perfect, it's the Zelda game. A Zelda game, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there are times when I completely understand DLC and when I completely, I guess I support it. And, I support DLC when it's Mario Kart, for example, the way they do that. Or Hyrule Warriors seems like a good way to do DLC. But if it's just going to be, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me when it's Zelda. Because when I buy Zelda, I want it to be an epic adventure that I'm going to spend so much. If I turn on Zelda and there's a block in the top right corner that's blacked out and I have to click on it and it says pay another 99 cents to unlock, I'm not going to be okay with that.
I don't think they'd implement it like that.
I know. I'm just saying.
No, but sadly, there will be a lot of people buying it. I don't agree with that. But sadly, I will buy it.
People would buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't, but people would.
Yeah.
Please, right.
Imagine, for example, a DLC, and I know I don't want it. I don't want this, but imagine a DLC where you get 2 more dungeons, another overworld map, a small part, and a new town, and new side quests and everything. Everyone will buy it if it costs $9.99. I don't know.
Yeah,
they will whine about it.
Yeah, but I don't buy DLC, so this question's irrelevant to me. So.
Because Mike doesn't buy DLC, this question is just irrelevant to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, who buys DLC? You know who buys the DLC? A dumbass on sitting on a tree trying to get a nut talking to squirrels, all right?
Hey.
DLC's for suckers.
Are you talking about the PSP commercial?
No.
Hey man, you want nut?
But honestly, though, if you buy DLC, I'm judging you pretty hard. All right, DLC is a scam.
I bought
Like,
the
you bought the
Mario
Kart 8
Kart 8
DLC.
DLC.
Yeah,
I bought
Mario Kart 8
Warrior
DLC, that's just some bullshit because the game blows. Who the hell would want to spend more money on a shit ass game?
we all
Apparently
Right?
you.
Oh, you want DLC on this shitty ass, terrible made tracks? Oh, let's ruin Mario Kart formula
but-
by adding non-Mario
See,
members into the stupid
Mike.
thing. All right.
Mike, it has almost a 9.0 in Metacritic for the user score.
Yeah, who cares
Is it-
about the user? Yo, every Nintendo user jacks up the Metacritic
Oh, look at
score. Damn, that's like
Alright.
Last of Us has a good freaking score.
To be
That means obviously, like I could have been like 500 different accounts. They gave that shit like a 10. This shit is garbage.
Fleet, to be fair, The Last of Us has like a 96 on Metacritic and under critic score, and Mike still detests that game. So I don't think that's gonna please him.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and if you don't remember correctly, it was my 2013 game of the year. So.
Yeah. All right.
I was just gonna add
Go ahead.
my notes because Mike was busy yapping. As far as DLC for Zelda, I don't know. It could go either way. Like you would think, oh, Nintendo wouldn't put in their big franchises, but they're putting it. They've made DLC for Mario Kart 8, and they've also made DLC, or sort of, for Smash Bros. So I could see it happening. I could also not see it happening because they didn't do it with 3D World, but maybe that was just too early and they didn't think about it. But I don't know. The other reason I think it may not happen is how long it takes to make extra dungeons in like another area if they do that or whatnot. Because I can see Mario Kart 8 not taking as long to develop because you have one track and everyone just goes around it. So that's pretty small. And Hyrule Warriors, you do make a small map, but then you just populate it with a bunch of enemies and you're good. But Zelda sounds like it might be a bit too hard. Not hard to make for DLC. It would just take too long to the point where it wouldn't be as worth it.
Yeah, but
Maybe. I don't know.
what I don't understand, for example, Matt, is that, for example, the development of the Zelda U is almost done, and they say, oh, we have this idea. I don't think Nintendo will say, or the executive producer Shigeru Miyamoto will say, no, we don't want that. Leave that for the DLC. I don't think that they have this type of policy. You know.
No, I don't. That's not. I don't think that's how they would approach it, though.
They don't
make
work.
They
don't.
make their game, and then after they're like, "Hey, this is selling well. Maybe we should make some extra content."
Exactly. And if they do that type of DLC, like you said, I will buy that. But not this type of DLC that they leave things that can be put in the game. For example, like Electronic Arts and Ubisoft does all the time. No, not that type of DLC.
No, we know they don't do that because they haven't. I think the only thing they did was some like random JRPG or whatever. That was about it. But other than that, it's always something extra. You get a full package.
Another thing that I remember now is that Mike said that it can be possible to make a Twilight Princess game for the new 3DS. I think it's very possible because they even made a Xenoblade Chronicles for the new 3DS, Mike.
I said it's
Twilight
not
Princess
possible.
is very possible, hardware-wise and
Xenoblade
software-wise.
Chronicles, that game had some shallow-ass jank gameplay. It is not as in-depth as Twilight Princess. All right, Twilight Princess is look, I like Xenoblade, but like Twilight Princess is on a different level of that, and like I don't think they're able to process
No,
what.
but let's put but you have to be fair and reasonable here. Xenoblade Chronicles has a dual-layer DVD of data in the Wii, and Twilight Princess is a single DVD with 4.7 gigabytes. So it's half of the data. So it can be possible.
Yeah, but yeah, that is true in that aspect. But the way I look at it is also the way it's built. Like, don't forget, like Xenoblade Chronicles is a much more simpler kind of game style. Like, honestly, it's still a turn-based RPG with a little bit of freedom roaming around. Like a lot of Zelda games requires like literally every fiber of every area. You know what I mean? There's not one area that is almost useless. Like legitimately, there's a tree that could be useful to you. In Xenoblade Chronicles, some bushes are obviously immovable walls.
Well, I don't know. Xenoblade. I thought the 3DS version of Xenoblade is supposed to look even better than the Wii U version or the Wii version. So maybe they could do the same thing with the new 3DS version of Twilight Princess. Because I mean, I think it's possible with the new hardware that they've introduced because it is more powerful. And if it is just a new 3DS exclusive, I think it's something that could work.
I think it's technically possible, but as far as likely, I don't think it'll happen. The reason like Xenoblade is coming back is because it was such like a niche game that not many people could buy. So re-releasing that kind of makes sense. but I don't know. I don't really see Twilight Princess
If you
making a 3DS port.
if you read the last Iwata Ask from the Nintendo.com, the last Iwata Ask is about Majora's Mask on the 3DS on the 3DS, yes, and they talk with 4 members of the development team, and one is Aonuma, and the other is one of Software Planet, and the other is the managing director of Griso, that is the company that has ported the Ocarina of Time version of the game, and now the Majora's Mask. And I think in one part of the question they joke about, but we still gonna work with you with another Zelda, and this guy said, "Oh no," like joking.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's one of those things where we'll just have to see how it unfolds in the end, because we don't really have any insight at this point in time. Yeah, I've been zoning out completely. I think that we should go into our closing statements since it's been about an hour at this point. I am Eli, Paulo Solano, my IGN, and you can also find my work on NintendoEnthusiast.com. Why don't we move on to Matt?
All right, I am the Mango Viking at YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
Mike?
I'm Troy Footbuster on Twitter and Twitch, and Super Nintendo Bros and on YouTube and that IGN.
All right, and lastly, Flea?
Sorry guys for being late. I'm Flea Delusion from IGN, and have a nice week.
Permanent mistake! Just kidding. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you guys next week when you'll have a much more we can host and perhaps more Amiibo news, because that's all we really care about at this point, right guys?
Yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
all the scalpers care about. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Eli.
Yeah.
All right, see you guys next week.